This is a guide on how to modify images or make your own images using Gravit. So Gravit is a software that you can use online. You can also download it to be an application on your desktop computer, but the online version works just fine. So it's designer.gravit.io. The first time you use it, you'll have to make an account. There's free accounts, or you can have like 15 days of professional. Doesn't really matter. Everything that you can do here is on the free. If you want to create a new design, you can just press create, where you've got sort of, this is like empty for if you just want to make it as big as it wants to be, or you can put specific images sizes in there. And once you've got that, you can add in any images you like or just get started. So you've got text, which you can change. You can change the colors or the sizes. You can draw pictures, scribble some lines. There's different kinds of lines that you can do. And you can also drag images. So let's say I want to have a nice picture of a pig. I can just move it across into my folder. Oh, looks like the image of the pig is really large, so I can zoom out and see him. So right now I've got an image. I can change the size. Okay, so that little one is so you can start moving things around. I was on the pen. You can scale him, and you can see the sizes there, or you could specify the size. Oh, that's a bit small. And you can also crop. If you want to scale him in one direction or other, oh yeah, so you can just double click outside to get out of the crop. If I want to scale him one side or another, I can undo that, which is the ratio thing. So if I want to make my pig all stretched out. And now that I've got a picture, I might want to, I don't know, add some text in there about my pig. And let's say I wanted to have that text a similar colour to one of the pig's colours. I can actually grab with that little dot, a little kind of dropper thing, and say, okay, well, I want the text to be the colour of the inside of the pig's ear. And then you can make alterations to that colour if you want. Okay, so that's kind of the general principle of using that. You can also have a look at these layers here, and you can change which one goes on top or which one goes below. Ooh, that's pretty. Don't know quite how I did that. If you want to be able to play with everything else without getting in your kind of things getting in the way, you can lock that various things. So if I have locked my text, I won't be accidentally changing that text. Right, so you can actually also access the whole canvas by just clicking on a sort of blank part. A couple of things here. In the free version, the maximum dots per inch is 300. So if 72 is fine if you're not going to do anything too high definition, but if you want something more kind of high definition, you might as well go to the 300. We've also got the page size is infinite. That's why I created that, but you can trim the canvas down to the size of that will be a rectangle of those sizes. If you then want to change, you can say, oh, I'll go back to infinite canvas, and then, I don't know, move things around, and then trim the canvas again if you want. So, and you can also specify the size of the canvas if you wish. So I could say, oh, I want mine to be 2000 pixels wide or something like that. That's quite useful if you're making a poster for a specific size. Okay, so let's just say I'm really happy with my picture. That's wonderful. I'm not sure why you would be happy with this picture, but anyway, let's presume, and you have a few different options for saving and exporting. So if I can go and save to my cloud, which is just a cloud that you automatically get. So we'll call that pig. And that's saved to my cloud. I can also download the file, and this will download it as a GV design file, which you can then email it to somebody else and they can open it up in their Gravit and make modifications. So things are easy to share. And then the other thing to do is when you're actually ready to print it or put it up on Facebook or whatever it is that you like, you can export it as one of those different formats. But the main use of using Gravit would be to modify other people's files. So for example, on the graphics folder of the EA Hub, there's a bunch of different files already in Gravit. So I could say, well, let's say I would like to, maybe I can have a look at this banner and go, oh, that's nice, I want to change that. Then you can take the relevant GV design file, download it, and then you can then go and open up from a local file. Right, so I hopefully will have the local file appearing any minute now. Okay. Right, so there's my my file. So let's say, for example, I've got all of these. Most of these will be locked so that you can move one at a time if you want. But let's say you wanted to change this text. Well, I can unlock the text, and you can make a change to that. Oh, that was too small. Applying reason and evidence to doing good. Something like that. Whatever you feel like. You can change the font size if you wish. You can also obviously put the name of your place here. So, effective altruism. Oh, did that again. Springfield. If you lived in the town of Springfield. So you can make whatever changes you like. Maybe that could be size 500. And do the same with this. Now, the type of font that we've been using is Railway, which is kind of a commonly used font within effective altruism sort of websites and things. Funny thing is about Railway though is if you put two F's together, they kind of do a funny join. So what we've been doing is making a gap in between and putting it as like a 1-point font so that those particular F's don't join up. But obviously you can change to whatever font you like. So that's editing the font. You can also edit your different colours of whatever it is you like, or change the colour from the image. You can also change, if you just click generally, change the size of the canvas. I've got all of these canvases as pretty ginormous because you can only print it out at 300 dpi, making them big works. if I want to change it so I want to make it sort of taller, I can change my height. So, or actually a couple of different ways. You can either change it to infinite canvas and then add more components, or you can change the height. So I'll just change it to infinite canvas. And let's say I wanted to have another picture slotted in. Unlock my small rectangle, shove the picture in, and let's say I wanted to have a nice telescope in there. Yeah. Then I can shove another picture in there, and again, looks like I haven't locked the image size, so image ratio. So if I want to keep that, I can then put my image in there. I can also crop, make those changes. You can also change the size up here. So let's say I wanted to crop it in a sort of certain format. It's fine. And double click to get out of the crop settings, and then I can change that file. You can have things on this magnet setting, and then the magnet setting will help you line it up. So is it centered, or is like the two sides equal? It'll kind of do a little line when you're about right. And you can crop things down as you want. So let's say you have that. You can measure all of these distances as well if you wish, or you can do it all precisely by typing into the position and trim your canvas if you want. Oh, it looks like for this one we have a large white background, so I obviously didn't extend that. There we go. Now I can trim to my canvas. Okay. So it seems like a lot of different companies that do prints will have different sizes that are appropriate, like they have different sizes. So you might want to have a look at what their recommended sizes are and make sure that your ratio is the same. If you want to alter the images in some way, you can do that. So there are a few little effects. Say I quite like orange, let's say, so you can actually change your color adjust, so you can make your images more orange if you wish, or there's other options here like a recolor where you can change your hues or whatever like that, or brightness or contrast. So that way you can make your images all kind of fit in nicely. It's also possible to move things from other Gravit files. So if I say there's another Gravit file that I have, I can open it from my cloud. Say, oh yeah, that's great, I've got this lovely picture of a girl with a bed net. Nice. So I can open that up, Control C, and then paste it onto here. And then once it's on, I can then resize it, crop it, do whatever I like. Okay, so now let's assume that you want to have a much smaller image than this. So for example, putting on a website or a Facebook page or something like that. You can resize everything at the same time. So this would be quite useful if you're using one of the large banner images and then you want to turn it into a Facebook image for your for an event or something like that. So the way you do this, you want to unlock everything, and then you can kind of control click to highlight everything, and right click to group. And once you've got everything in a group, then you can just resize it just by dragging the corner, or you can change it entirely. So I might want my width to be 800. So I'm doing control scroll to zoom in there. And then again I can trim my canvas to size, or again you can make changes on the overall sizes just on here. And a final aspect that you might be interested in is making things transparent. So for example, you could open up a logo. Most of the logos that we have are transparent files. So here's an example of one logo which is quite large, but you can see it's a transparent background. So the way that you can create that yourself is to, if you clicked on the canvas, you can just decide what color you want it to be. So whatever color you have, you can just scroll the transparency down to 0, so that's the A, and that gives you a transparent image, which is quite useful for putting on other things, like on a website or something, so whatever background you have will shine through. And if you are going to be downloading that or exporting that, if you download it as a PNG, then that will remain transparent, which you can use to like slide that onto other images. And finally, if you have any more things that you don't know how to do, try Googling Gravit something, and you can find the answers there.